What's going on, guys? I just want to start this video off by saying thank you all so much for supporting me so far. My game just hit 30 million visits, dude. I remember when the game hit a million visits. I could never believe it getting this big. Thank you all so much. This is like my first video on YouTube. I'm not including the trailer because I only made that for the game. The reason I'm making this video is to sort of answer some of your guys' questions about the game Subconscious. And I'll show you guys some behind the scenes footage of my game and how I made it. This video will mainly focus on episode 1. I'll probably make one for episode 2 later on, and then after that, I may or may not keep posting, but that depends. I'm not really sure yet. I'm just going to end this intro off by letting you all know that I am developing episode 3 of Subconscious at the moment with this little time I've been granted for my break. That's pretty much it. Enjoy the video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments.
Shut up, bitch!
This is the starting place for Subconscious. This is where you get teleported into the actual game. It's pretty boring. There's really nothing else. There's really nothing much to see on the behind the scenes. Everyone's seen what you're supposed to see. This is like the main menu screen when you like join the game. This is if you want to play in chapter 1. This is for chapter 2. That's pretty much it. I think I'm gonna move on. This is what it kind of looks like from the outside. Really nothing interesting. But something I've seen of like people like kind of like assume that's kind of like been making me kind of like pissed off is like when I say the main character isn't dreaming, I don't mean like he forgets his dreams. I'm like saying like he's genuinely just like in he can't, like he's just like looking at pure darkness for 8 hours. He can't move or anything. It's like he's like in a paralysis, and people would just assume that he can't dream. So like you just go to sleep as normal. You just don't remember your dreams. And a lot of people saying that that happens in real life, which it really doesn't. I'm just like trying to like, I guess like it's kind of my fault. I didn't really show that well, but like it does kind of like make sense why the main character is kind of like losing his mind in the chapter, as you can tell from like the subtle hints I left in this apartment. It's kind of like who the hell would live here? It's like psychotic as hell.
Watch! You go wake up!
So right now we're on the second part of chapter 1. All the names for all the parts are on the left tab, by the way. This is respawn, like when you wake up. I didn't know how to change the camera, so I just copied the starting area and just flipped it so that it looked like you're sleeping. And then this is respawn, and then just reopen the door. And then this is like the whole area, main area. And then on the outside, this locked door here, yeah, it leads to nothing. I just added this for fun. So this bridge you can't access, it leads to nothing. And then this area, there's the fan, also just leads to nothing. This part was supposed to look entirely different when I was first left in this game. This area right here, this is like an unused part, but this is from the original place. I'll show you guys that. So this is what part 2 was supposed to look like. Entirely different. I scrapped it because I thought it was like too bland. There wasn't really enough content. And there's actually a little secret where if you found this door that blended in with the wall, you just go all the way up the stairs and it would take you to this room with the computer. There's cameras on each corner that you can just access. A pretty stupid secret, or at least I don't meaning in it, so I just kind of scrapped this. But I like the idea of like a giant box with like clouds. I might use this in a future part or something. I'm not really sure yet. You just can tell we're on part 3. Sewer area. I've gotten rid of all the lighting effects just for visibility and stuff like that. This is like the whole maze and everything. On the outside is pretty much nothing else. It's just a giant rectangle sort of. There's this weird thing, a bunch of water, and here's the part where if you touch this, it will spawn the Warman somewhere around here. There's pretty much nothing special about this level. Nothing like secret or like interesting. Also the worm's name, hold on, the worm's name is actually I decided to name it Pipe Worm. Really uncreative, but yeah, this is just what it looks like close up. It was supposed to be red, but this part of the game got shut down, and I thought it was because of this guy. There's actually a bunch of old blood textures I had lying around the map that I forgot to delete, so that's kind of unfortunate. I just don't feel like changing his appearance back to red, so I'm just gonna leave it at black for now. It kind of looks better.
Hello, how are you? I am under the water. Please help me.
Here too much raining.
Over here we have our fourth part, Seafall. This is there's literally nothing in this level, I can't lie. But there's a secret, and I'm not gonna say where it is because it's a secret, but it's somewhere on this map and it's up to you guys to find it. It's probably on YouTube somewhere. And before I move on to the next part, there was a part I made, but I kind of scrapped it because it provided nothing to the game. It was just filler. This is supposed to be after Seafall. You'd start here, and then it was just a maze. Yeah, really repetitive. I could delete it just because like it was boring. It's just another maze and did nothing to the level. The only thing I did was like I think made a transition from the previous part to the office a bit easier. Yeah, there's like this little white guy here. Nothing interesting. I'm moving on. So up next we have the fifth part of episode 1. This is the office. This is definitely one of my least favorite parts to work on, just because of how buggy this whole everything was, from the code to especially the elevator. Cutscene was the most annoying, and I just have to give up with like one of the parts of the cutscene that I really wanted to have, but it's fine, I guess. Before I move on to the next part, this also used to look entirely different. Instead of the puzzle, you would just have to go to your desk, which is like I think J here. I don't know where the hole is. I think it's one of these. All right, I found the hole. It took me a while, but you'd fall down this hole once you found the desk, and then you'd end up in this area. Yep, it was it's also just another maze. It's kind of like a backrooms maze. It was just really weird. It wasn't like an actual like path. There's various different paths you could take, and I kind of scrapped it because again it was just another maze. You just kind of like just try to extend the playtime of the game as long as possible. So I scrapped it for something a little bit more interactive for the player. Alright, now we're on part 6 of episode 1. This is definitely one of my most favorite parts to work on. I've seen some people talk about how the monsters and the game in general isn't that scary. My main intent with this game was never to make it like truly horrifying. I know I call it a horror game, but it's more like a backrooms type of game, also inspired by interliminality. But people always say this is a backrooms game, which kind of ticks me off because it clearly says it's inspired. So I don't know where people are getting that from. And this is like the whole map and everything. Here's the outside. This is the elevator. Pretty much nothing outside. It's just all this junk. Before publishing part 6 to the game, it used to look entirely different. Instead of an elevator, you just spawn in front of this door covered by rocks. No clue how I thought you'd get there, but it looks similar to the original map. It's just a lot more bland. And this is my least favorite part. It's the same thing as like the other ones. You have to find the toys, except the whole thing's a maze. Also, these look different. These used to be images. They look ugly. Oh, and these guys. I'm gonna call them the twins. That's what I call them. They look entirely different. They had like their own animation and everything. I can't really show it here, but they're pretty much the twins look entirely different than they do now. I hated their old look. It was just kind of like corny and stupid. If I can get myself to get killed by one, I'll show you what they used to do when they kill you. All right, I guess he got stuck. If I just touch him, yeah, just like a bunch of claws would come out of his neck and just slice you. It was pretty stupid. I scrapped that.
Remind me of them little gold men that be pretending, then they start moving and shit. Oh no, he a statue. He ain't no.
Up next we have the 7th part, the gallery. I think this map I definitely had the most fun working on. Just having all the artworks and designing each part of the map was really fun. Here's the cool little hallway, and here's parkour. On the outside, it looks kind of weird, not that cool. And on the inside, here's of course the part a lot of people dread, the obby. I had to like nerf this a bunch of times before releasing it. It was way harder, but like I didn't know it was hard because I play on PC and it's definitely way easier on a keyboard and mouse. I kind of figured some people struggle on mobile because they're only using the 2 little thumbs, so I had to make it easier. It's definitely not easy for them still, but compared to back then, it's definitely a lot easier. Here's the second part of the puzzle, the painting puzzle. All that, you go on here, and then here's your exit.
When the sun did not rise in the
Alright, so we're in part 9, the basement. This is definitely my favorite part of the entire game. I just love seeing how people think just because the first guy's harmless, all of them are harmless, and then they just get jump scared by the second guy. I've seen the clips on Metal.
We assaulted a black man.
Yeah, me too.
Shit!
A chair?
Oh no! The...
It's just pretty much, it's just a whole maze. I made sure to make the maze entertaining by adding a bunch of decorations. On the outside, nothing special. I mean, there's one part I can't show because it's part of the secret, but I feel like a lot of people know about it. Before I move on to the 10th part, the 9th part actually was just heavily revamped before I released it. This game would have been terrible if I left it the way it is, but I think you can definitely see why the 9th part is worse. It was just like really maze-like. The black figures weren't there to jump scare you, so it was pretty boring just going through the whole thing. Most parts of this old maze is still in the new one. I had this like weird little section where you go in this hallway. It says wake up a bunch of times, and it just keeps saying that. You still have to find a key and behind one of the vending machines in this one, and then it just turns to this. Really goofy. I really hated the old maze. I'm really glad I changed it.
Yo, who the fuck?
Now we're nearing the end of this game with part 10. This is where the black fairy comes to chase you around. Here we have him in the beauty. The prisoner. You can tell with the barbed wire around his head. He's got the 4 arms, and people call this a diaper. This is not a diaper. I think it's like a loincloth. His design was inspired to me by a character from Mortal Kombat. I don't know his name, but I'll probably put a picture on the screen. Yeah, I'll show you the rest of the map. It's just a maze still. The vending machines. Nothing interesting outside. And now finally, we are at the end. This is part 11. This is where the rain is, where you're like entering your apartment during the rain. This is your bed. This is supposed to be you, but on studio it's just a blank rig. There's nothing inside these apartments. There's not even a floor. And there's all the puddles. This is the road. Nothing here. There's actually a little Easter egg here. You go here. It's not over yet. This is for the release of episode 2. This is when it was just episode 1. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this. It's just some buildings over here. Yeah, nothing interesting. Hey guys, if you made it to the end of the video, I just want to say thank you so much for watching this. It is currently Christmas Day at the time I'm recording this, so Merry Christmas if you're watching this today, or Happy Holidays. I'll work on a video for part 2 very soon, and if you have any questions, please leave them below in the comments, and I'll probably be able to help you. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all later.